Let's settle this once and for all, because I'm tired of the comment section arguing about it every time I post a German performance car video. You know exactly what I'm talking about, the eternal three-way war. AMG guys swear their twin-turbo V8 is the only thing worth driving. BMW M loyalists will tell you, with the patience of a teacher explaining gravity to a child, that the M3 is and always has been the benchmark. And the Audi RS guys, God bless them, show up to every comment thread insisting that the rest of us just don't understand Quattro. Here's the thing, I don't actually care which one you think is the best to drive. That's a debate that's been going on for 30 years and it's not getting solved today. What I care about, and what you should care about if you're spending serious money on one of these things, is which of them is going to stop bleeding value the fastest. Because all three of these brands depreciate. The question is just how fast, and which one stops the slide first. I went and pulled the actual numbers across multiple model years, generations, and trim levels. Some of what I found is exactly what you'd expect. Some of it is going to make at least one tribe in the comments very, very angry. If you've got an AMG, an M car, or an RS sitting in your driveway right now, or you're thinking about buying one, stick with me through this. There's a clear winner, there's a clear loser, and the middle car, honestly, I changed my mind about while I was researching this video. Quick setup, because I want to be honest about what we're actually measuring. When I say holds value the longest, I'm not talking about resale value the day you drive off the lot. They all hemorrhage money in the first 3 years. That's just how German performance cars work. What I'm measuring is the 5 to 10 year curve. How much is your $90,000 car worth in 2031? Which one of these three brands has historically held the floor under their used prices? And which one keeps falling? I'm focusing on the modern super sedan tier. The cars that compete head-to-head. Mercedes AMG C63, BMW M3, Audi RS5. Specifically, the generations from roughly 2015 to 2021. Because that's where the used market is most active right now, and that's the data we can actually trust. 3 rounds, 1 winner. Let's start with the one that has the most to lose. Round 1, the Mercedes AMG C63. I want to start with AMG because the story here is the most complicated and most YouTubers oversimplify it. Real quick on what these cars actually are, because if you've never sat in one, the spec sheet doesn't do it justice. The W2 05 generation C63, built from 2015 to 2021, was Mercedes AMG's first sedan, with the now legendary M1 7.7 4.0-litre twin-turbo V8. .469 horsepower in standard trim, 503 in the C63S, hand-built in Affalterbach, Germany, by a single engineer whose signature is on the engine cover. The W2 04 generation before it ran the 6.2-litre naturally aspirated M156 V8. Same hand-built process, but with the kind of metallic offbeat exhaust note that makes you start your car in the garage just to hear it. The C63 has always been the muscle car of this group. It doesn't try to be the most precise. It doesn't try to be the most balanced. It tries to scare you a little bit on the way out of every corner, and it succeeds. The rear end is loose by design. The exhaust pops on overrun. You don't drive a C63, you wrestle with it, and you smile the entire time. Now, the depreciation story. The standard line is that AMGs lose value the worst of the three. That's partially true. A loaded W205 C63S that's stickered at $85,000 in 2018 trades around $42,000 to $48,000 today. But here's where it gets interesting. The W2 04 C63 with the naturally aspirated V8 has stopped depreciating entirely. Clean low-mileage examples pull $45,000 to $55,000 today. And the special editions like the Edition 507 and Black Series are well into six-figure territory. Prices on the W204 have moved up by roughly 20% since 2023. Why? Because the W204 was the last AMG with a hand-built, naturally aspirated V8. Every C63 after it switched to the twin-turbo. Different car, different sound. The market figured this out 3 years ago, and the old V8 cars started climbing. If you're buying AMG today and you care about value retention, you do not buy new. You buy a clean W204 C63 from 2012 to 2014 and you let history come to you. Round 1 verdict. AMG is mixed. Brutal on new, golden on the right used model. Round 2. The BMW M3. Now we get to the one that's about to get the most comments. The M3 is, and has always been, the surgeon of this group. Where the C63 is a sledgehammer, the M3 is a scalpel. The F80 generation M3 from 2014 to 2018 used the S55. A 3.0-litre twin-turbo straight six that revs cleanly to 7,600 revolutions per minute and shifts character 3 times on the way there. 425 horsepower in standard trim, 444 in the competition. Lighter than the AMG by almost 1,000 pounds. Sharper steering, smaller wheel, smaller car. Bigger smile per mile. The current G80 M3 keeps that recipe more or less intact, which is the entire point. Every M3 since the E30 in 1986 has been a small to mid-size sedan with a high revving engine and a focus on chassis balance. The recipe doesn't change. The interior gets nicer, the screens get bigger, the grille gets more controversial, but the bones are the same. Driving an M3 fast is like having a really long conversation with the road. The car talks to you constantly through the steering wheel, the seat, the brake pedal. You don't fight it, you read it. That's why M3 owners tend to keep their cars longer than AMG owners. Once you learn the language, you don't want to start over with another car. And that loyalty shows up in the resale data. A 2018 F80 M3 competition that stickered at $79,000 trades today at $48,000 to $58,000 depending on miles and color. That's depreciation of roughly 35 to 40% over 7 years. Meaningfully better than the C63's 50% over 5. The current G80 generation is holding even better. A 2-year-old G80 M3 competition currently retains around 70 to 75% of its sticker price. Best resale in this entire comparison. Manual transmissions matter here too. Manual F80S pull $5,000 to $10,000 premiums over the equivalent automatic. And that gap is widening every year as enthusiasts realize BMW probably won't offer a manual in the next M3. The catch, and there's always a catch with BMW, is maintenance. The S55 has known issues with rod bearings and charge pipes. Budget $4,000 to $6,000 for preventative work. Skip it and your investment turns into a paperweight quickly. Round 2 verdict, BMW M3 wins on pure resale percentage. But there's still one round to go. Round 3, the Audi RS5. Okay, Audi guys, I love you. I do, but we have to talk. Let me describe what an RS5 actually is, because I think a lot of the depreciation here comes from people not understanding what they're buying. The B8 RS5 from 2010 to 2015 used a 4.2-litre naturally aspirated V8 making 444 horsepower, mated to an S-tronic dual-clutch transmission and Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive. The B9 generation that replaced it in 2018 switched to a 2.9-litre twin-turbo V6, same engine architecture you'd find in a Porsche Panamera, making 444 horsepower again, but with a fundamentally different character. Less drama, more confidence. The RS5 has always been the grown-up in this group. While the C63 is sliding sideways and the M3 is begging you to track it, the RS5 just covers ground. Quickly, quietly, in any weather. The B8 V8 in particular, and this is the part Audi guys never shut up about, and they're right to never shut up about it. Sounds like a small Lamborghini. Same parent company, similar engine architecture, same Italian adjacent shriek when you put your foot down. It's not the sharpest car in this comparison. The chassis is more boat than blade. The steering doesn't have the conversation that the M3's does. But for the guy who actually has to drive his sedan in the snow, in the rain, on a long highway trip with the family, the RS5 is the one that doesn't punish you for using it. Now the bad news. The Audi RS5 has the worst pure depreciation curve of the three. A 2018 B9RS 5 Sportback that's stickered at $80,000 currently trades around $35,000 to $42,000. The B8 with the V8 fares even worse on a percentage basis. Median current value sits around $30,000 to $35,000, with original stickers in the $70,000 range. The reason is simpler than it looks. Audi's enthusiast cult in America is just smaller than AMG's or BMW's. There aren't as many YouTube channels obsessing over RS variants. The forums are quieter. Less persistent demand on the used market means prices fall further before finding a floor. But here's the contrarian play. The B8 RS5 with that naturally aspirated V8 is currently the cheapest entry into a hand-built German V8 sedan available on the planet. Under $35,000 for a car that sounds like a Gallardo. For the buyer who cares about driving experience over resale value, this is the smartest pure enthusiast purchase in this entire comparison. The depreciation already happened. There's not much left to lose. Round 3 verdict. RS5 loses on resale, wins on per dollar of driving pleasure. So who actually wins? Here's the part I changed my mind about while I was researching this. If you walked into this video assuming the BMW M3 wins, you were right on the headline number. Pure depreciation percentage, model for model, generation for generation, the M3 holds the highest percentage of its value across the longest time horizon. If you absolutely have to maximize resale, you buy the M3, you buy it in a desirable color, and you keep the miles low. That's the conventional answer, and it's still correct. But the smart money answer is different. The smart money answer is the W204 generation, Mercedes AMG C63 with the naturally aspirated 6.2-litre V8. Stay with me. The W204 C63, when you measure value retention over the past 5 years specifically, has actually outperformed the BMW M3 in dollar terms. It's not depreciating anymore, it's appreciating. A 2013 C63 you bought in 2020 for $35,000 is worth $48,000 today. A 2013 M3 you bought in 2020 for $35,000 is worth roughly the same $35,000 today. Flat, but not up. Up beats flat, every time. The W204 sits at the intersection of three things that almost never line up in the same car. Hand-built naturally aspirated V8, engine type that's now extinct in production luxury cars. Last great AMG before the brand pivoted to twin turbos and hybrids. And currently affordable enough that demand can grow into supply, instead of being suppressed by sticker shock. So if you ask me, which German sedan holds value the longest? The technically correct answer is the BMW M3, because it loses the least. But the actually correct answer for someone who wants to come out ahead in 5 years is a clean W204 C63 with the V8. Which means the AMG tribe was right all along. Just not about the AMG they thought they were right about. Look, I know half of you are already typing furiously to defend whichever brand you own. That's fine. Honestly, that's part of the fun of these cars. The tribalism is the feature, not the bug. Owning a German performance sedan is supposed to be irrational. It's supposed to be the thing you do when you've worked hard for 20 years and you want a car that makes you feel something on a Tuesday morning. But if you're going to spend $40,000 to $80,000 on a German super sedan in 2026, at least know what you're walking into. The M3 is the safe bet. The W204 C63 is the smart bet. The RS5 is the bet you make if you've already accepted that the depreciation is the price of admission and you just want the best sounding V8 sedan most people have never sat in. Whichever one you pick, drive it. Don't garage it, don't baby it. These are not Ferraris. They were built to be used, and the cars that hold up the best, across all three brands, are the ones owned by people who actually drove them and maintained them properly. Tell me which one you'd buy with $50,000 today, and tell me why I'm wrong about the M3 not being the smart play. I read the comments, the good ones anyway. Catch you in the next one.